Studies show that up to 65% of people who start a new exercise program quit within the first 3 months, not because they are lazy, not because they lack willpower, but because they are making specific, predictable mistakes that prevent results, cause injury, and make exercise feel like punishment instead of progress. Today, I am going to show you the 6 most common exercise mistakes that silently cancel your progress and exactly how to fix every single one of them, starting with your next workout. Welcome to Rich Mind Daily. This is part 2 of our fitness and longevity series. In part 1, we covered the exact weekly exercise formula backed by longevity research, moderate cardio, interval training, and weight training combined in the right proportions. Today, we are addressing the mistakes that make that formula fail for most people who try it. If you have ever exercised consistently and wondered why you are not seeing results, this video will give you the answer. Let us get into it. Skipping recovery, the mistake that kills progress faster than skipping workouts. The most counterintuitive truth in exercise science is that your body does not get stronger during workouts. It gets stronger during recovery. Exercise creates microscopic damage to muscle fibers and stresses the cardiovascular system. The adaptation, the actual improvement in strength, endurance, and metabolic health, happens in the 24 to 72 hours after the workout when your body repairs and rebuilds. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that athletes who prioritized sleep and recovery between sessions showed 20% greater strength gains over 12 weeks than those who trained at the same volume but skipped recovery protocols. The practical implication is straightforward. Never train the same muscle group on consecutive days. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Include at least 1 full rest day per week. And treat recovery as part of your training program rather than an optional add-on. More training with inadequate recovery produces worse results than less training with proper recovery every single time. Doing only cardio. The single biggest mistake in long-term fitness. The most common exercise mistake made by people focused on health and weight management is doing exclusively cardio while avoiding resistance training. This approach feels logical. Cardio burns calories during the session, produces visible sweat, and creates an immediate sense of effort. But it misses the most powerful long-term adaptation available from exercise: muscle tissue. A pound of muscle burns approximately 6 calories per day at rest compared to 2 calories for a pound of fat. This difference is modest on its own, but compounds dramatically over time. More importantly, research from the University of New Mexico found that people who combined cardio with resistance training lost 35% more body fat over 12 weeks than those who did cardio alone, despite performing less total cardio. Resistance training also preserves bone density, improves insulin sensitivity, and produces the longevity benefits we covered in Part 1. If you currently do only cardio, adding 2 resistance training sessions per week is the highest return change you can make to your exercise program right now. Training without progressive overload. Why the same workout produces 0 results after 6 weeks. Progressive overload is the fundamental principle that drives all physical adaptation from exercise. It means systematically increasing the challenge placed on your body over time. When you perform the same workout at the same weight, the same speed, and the same duration week after week, your body adapts completely within 4 to 6 weeks and stops changing. The workout that challenged you in week 1 becomes maintenance in week 6 and produces 0 additional improvement from week 7 onwards. The fix is simple but requires conscious attention. Every 2 to 3 weeks, increase 1 variable in your training. Add 5 pounds to a lift. Add 2 minutes to your cardio duration. Decrease rest periods between sets. Increase your walking speed. Add 1 additional set per exercise. Any meaningful increase signals your body that continued adaptation is required. Research from McMaster University confirmed that progressive overload is the single non-negotiable requirement for continued physical improvement, regardless of training style, age, or fitness level. Inconsistency. Why 3 perfect weeks followed by 2 weeks off destroys progress. Consistency produces results that intensity never can over a long time horizon. A study from University College London found that it takes an average of 66 days of consistent repetition for a new behavior to become automatic. Most people quit an exercise program before reaching that threshold, meaning they never experience the point where exercise stops requiring willpower and becomes simply part of their routine. The physiology reinforces this. Cardiovascular adaptations begin reversing within 10 to 14 days of stopping exercise. Strength gains begin reversing within 3 weeks of inactivity. Someone who exercises moderately 3 times per week for 52 weeks accumulates dramatically more physical adaptation than someone who does intense daily training for 6 weeks, then stops. The practical rule is simple: never miss 2 consecutive days. 1 missed day is life. 2 missed days is the beginning of a broken habit. Protect your streak not because perfection matters, but because the 66-day threshold is where exercise finally stops feeling hard. Ignoring nutrition around workouts. Why exercise alone never produces the results people expect. Exercise and nutrition are not separate systems. They are interdependent biological processes that either amplify or undermine each other depending on how they are managed. The most common nutritional mistake around exercise is under-eating protein. As we covered in our longevity series, muscle synthesis requires adequate protein availability. Without sufficient protein, resistance training stimulates muscle breakdown without providing the building blocks for repair and growth. Research from the International Society of Sports Nutrition recommends 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day for active individuals pursuing muscle maintenance or growth. For a 75-kilogram person, that is 120 to 165 grams of protein daily. The second most common mistake is training in a severely fasted state for high-intensity work. While fasted moderate cardio has some research support for fat oxidation, fasted high-intensity training and fasted resistance training consistently produce worse performance and recovery outcomes than training with adequate fuel. Eating a small protein and carbohydrate-containing meal 1 to 2 hours before intense training produces measurably better results for most people. 6 mistakes. Skipping recovery, doing only cardio, ignoring progressive overload, inconsistency, and poor nutrition around workouts. Any one of these can silently cancel months of effort. All 6 together explain why most people exercise for years without ever reaching the results they are working toward. If this video saved you from wasting months of training on the wrong approach, hit the like button right now. Subscribe to Rich Mind Daily so you do not miss part 3 of this series, where we cover the exact nutrition plan that maximizes the results of everything we have covered in parts 1 and 2. Drop a comment below. Which of these mistakes have you been making without knowing it? I read every single comment. See you in the next one.